Hey everybody, it is Mattie here with Altcoin Buzz with you on this Monday, and I hope you're having a nice one. We're discussing all things political and international geopolitics and the world of billionaires in today's news, starting with this piece on orbitcoinnews.com. U.S. presidential candidate and Bitcoin pro Andrew Yang received support from Elon Musk. Then we're talking Tim Draper here on finance.yahoo.com. Draper hedges $250,000 Bitcoin price call. And finally, on Mickey.com, we're discussing the world of Brexit and the possibility of what's being dubbed Britcoin. Will Brexit put a rocket under Bitcoin? But let's begin before all of that with a brief snapshot of the market. Total market cap down really pretty much flat, down 0.01%, so that's basically flat. We're at $297 billion total. At the time of this recording, Bitcoin is sitting at $11,348, also pretty much flat on the day and up a little bit on the week. But check this out, Bitcoin dominance, although down a little bit, is up at 68.3%, so a very pronounced dominance statistic at this time. So Mr. Andrew Yang, the internet's libertarian darling, has apparently received support from Elon Musk. Of course, if you've kept up with us in the past, Mr. Andrew Yang is very pro-cryptocurrency, very pro-Bitcoin. Crypto money also criticized by many people or institutions, sector, industry, and especially Bitcoin supporter, nice spelling and writing, of the people so great that absolutely can't be ignored. But of course, Bitcoin was undoubtedly supported by U.S. presidential candidate Andrew Yang. For one thing, Andrew Yang accepts donations in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and has spoke about the topic head on. So on Twitter, you had Dan Carlin of the podcast Hardcore History. On August 10th, he spoke about Yang's leadership qualities and actually tweeted about them. Responding to the tweet was Musk, who basically flat out said that he supported Andrew Yang. So here's Dan Carlin. How weird that this should be a somewhat novel thing, highlighting some previous comments that Andrew Yang made. Andrew Yang here, I don't expect people to agree with me on everything. That would be odd. My main hope is that people trust that I'm able to solve problems and I'm open to different approaches, particularly if the data drives in a particular direction. Changing one's mind is not a bad thing. And so in response to Dan Carlin, Elon Musk simply wrote, I support Yang. Andrew Yang, of course, accepts donations in not only Bitcoin, but Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies as well, pretty much all other ERC20 cryptocurrencies. And his main shtick, if you will, or what I associate him with as far as a differentiator, is his stance on a UBI allowance or a universal basic income. So it certainly doesn't hurt your case one way or the other, whatever you may think of Andrew Yang. It certainly doesn't hurt his campaign to have a heavyweight like Elon Musk in his corner. Let us know what you think about that development in the comments below. This could be a positive for Bitcoin to bring that into the next discussion, politically speaking, as far as the U.S. presidential campaign goes. Here in other news on finance.yahoo.com, we're talking Tim Draper, the billionaire who once famously said that Bitcoin's price would reach $250,000 by 2022. Well, this week he returned to the predictions game in a slightly more cautious mode. During an interview with Yahoo Finance, Draper said $250K by 2022, and I'm hedging a little, maybe Q1 2023. It may be Q1 2023, but it will be $250,000 before that. Quote, it's interesting. If Bitcoin has consolidated more than I thought it would, Draper said. I thought there would be many more competitors at this point that were really relevant, but people have consolidated toward Bitcoin because it's decentralized, and that's why they get the flack at Facebook for being a centralized currency. Exactly. Draper feels that for Bitcoin to really take off, you'll have to see things like everyday transactions, small ones too, like the kind that people would make at a Starbucks. And this is, according to him, something that's going to happen by the year 2022. In a podcast interview on NBC Bay Area's Sandy Hill Road, Draper said, quote, Bitcoin is one of the greatest technological advances that humanity has ever seen, and it can make a bigger change in history than any of us ever imagined. He also said, quote, I think that when you go to Starbucks to buy a cup of coffee and you try to pay with dollars, they will laugh at you because you are not using Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. It will be like the old lady paying out with pennies. That's certainly the dream. Let's see if Tim Draper is going to be correct. He's got a couple years now, more than a couple years, 3-4 years to prove himself accurate in this latest prediction? Let us know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Finally, today we are talking Brexit on Mickey.com and Bitcoin. Will Brexit put a rocket under Bitcoin? Possibly. Article here from the 12th of August. Not to belabor all of the politics currently circulating in the UK, but with a no-deal Brexit fast becoming the most likely option, experts believe it could put a rocket under the Bitcoin price on the 31st of October. According to some, Bitcoin could be a big winner because financial experts have increasingly begun to view it as an uncorrelated safe haven asset that benefits from economic uncertainty, such as the US-China trade war. We saw this in Venezuela, we saw this in Turkey, we saw this in certain African nations, and this is very much what Max Kaiser has recently been talking and tweeting about. He predicted that the Brexit-Bitcoin connection was something that was real and existed as far as 2 years ago. He tweeted, "Population about to go nuts, panic in the air, capital flight threatens to destroy banks, protect yourself with Bitcoin." And in the last few months, Bitcoin's price correlation to gold prices has doubled the price correlation itself, so the coefficient of correlation. Searches for Bitcoin rose dramatically to their highest levels in a year in the days following Boris Johnson becoming prime minister. CEO of blockchain firm Commerce Block, Nick Gregory, said the following, quote, "Bitcoin has rediscovered its mojo this year with multiple mini surges, but a no-deal Brexit could see a massive and unprecedented breakout." He continued, "Not only will a no-deal departure from the EU create turmoil and volatility across two major fiat currencies, it will also trigger an identity crisis for the global system as the contingency and vulnerability of major global fiat currencies is laid bare." And Nick Gregory actually believes that we could not only meet the $20,000 all-time high that Bitcoin once enjoyed, but in fact blow past it under the right circumstances. Quote, "If central banks revert to ramping up the money printing all over again, the case for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, whose supply is capped, will be further reinforced. Each time a central bank increases the money supply, it's another nail in the coffin for fiat." And Nigel Green, the CEO of De Beer Group, has likened Bitcoin, of course, as many of you have, to digital gold and said it was a, quote, "flight to safety asset during times of market uncertainty." He believes that a no-deal Brexit would allow Britain to set up its own crypto-friendly laws and regulations that will enable the country to benefit from blockchain adoption. And Jeremy Allaire, the CEO of Circle, told CNBC recently that Bitcoin's finite supply and decentralized infrastructure make it a very attractive investment. Quote, "You can very clearly see some macro correlation there," he said. "Rising nationalism, rising amounts of currency conflict, trade wars, these all obviously are supported of a non-sovereign, highly secure digital store of value." But at the time of this recording, only 30% of Britons even know what cryptocurrencies are. Only 3% have ever purchased them, and 7% surveyed indicate that they would possibly be open to purchasing things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in the future. So we do have a long way to go, but let us know your thoughts about that. If you are a British or UK member of the Altcoin Buzz Army, do you think, regardless of what your thoughts are on Brexit, do you think that event would bolster and help things out as far as the cryptocurrency movement would help Bitcoin? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspectives on that issue. But that about rounds it out for the news today, everybody. Do be sure you are following us on all the regular social media channels and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for the latest. Hey, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell to receive notifications. All the very best of luck if you choose to invest on this Monday, but have a great start to your week, and we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.